You all, this room at the Bali Hyatt Regency is amazing. You have to come in and check it out. We're Helen and Tim, full-time adventure travelers, and in this video we're heading to Bali, Indonesia. For the first week of our Bali trip, we stayed at the Hyatt Regency in Bali, and we were just blown away by this property that we had to show you around. So we're gonna tie it in with a packing video of the hiking gear we bring in our day packs. We're heading to Bali! Yeah. We finally made it to Bali. We're excited. We're gonna do some surfing.
Get some beach time.
Yep, it's gonna be a great time.
Look at the signs. Does it typically rain just around like in the afternoon and then go away, or how's that?
We never know.
Never know. Okay.
Sometimes the rain's coming, but only for 3 hours or maybe a few minutes and then gone.
Hey everyone, we made it to Bali. We took a short 5.5-hour flight from Taipei to Denpasar, which is the airport here at Bali. We got in yesterday and we are staying in an amazing Hyatt Regency Bali resort.
We're on the eastern part of Bali, definitely one that doesn't have a lot of surf or anything like that, but it is good for relaxation, which is exactly what we're doing. In this video, it's part 2 of our packing series. We're gonna be going over our hiking gear, because we obviously do a lot of that, and we can't do that here, so.
Hopefully this will answer some of your questions that we've been receiving about what is actually in our day packs when we do go hiking and traveling, so.
Yeah, and this is not everyday gear that we bring at home. Like, of course, like we always have our 10 essentials, but this is kind of a variation because we have to essentially downsize a bit when we're on the road full time, but we do pretty much use all of this even when we're at home in our home base in the Pacific Northwest. If you have any questions regarding our gear, drop it down in a comment below. We always reply, and you can always DM us on Instagram as well. We are going to show you around the Hyatt Regency Hotel because it is just, there's so many little touches everywhere that have been making our time here. Make sure you stick around until the very end because we're going to give you a special room tour of our suite that we absolutely got for free with points from this guy over here, which he is just a talented travel hacker. Thank you, Tim. Also, tell you how we got this hotel room for free. Breakfast is included, a cocktail hour is included. We're soaking it all in before we have to go back out to the world.
Right now we're at the entrance to the Hyatt Regency in Bali, and I wanted to talk real quick about 2 pieces of survival equipment. Everyone definitely should have them as part of the 10 essentials. The first one is the Garmin inReach Mini, and we have the second version, the second edition. It's a 2-way communicator device where you can text back and forth between search and rescue, so you can give them up-to-date status of the situation. They can use that information to determine what response is needed. So that is critical, works off of satellites. So the Garmin inReach Mini does require a subscription. You can text not only search and rescue, but friends and family. Also, it has an SOS button, which is reserved only for when search and rescue is needed. Finally, we carry SOL, which is SOL Emergency Bivvies. Those are those bivvies that you can get into during emergency situations that help insulate your body heat. So you can always pull those out. Now those can also be used as sleeping bags if you really wanted to, but we always keep ours just for emergency purposes. So we don't have sleeping bags with us. We could always use the emergency bivvies if we needed to for sleeping bags.
So I'm just hanging out in one of the property's gazebo, and let me tell you, though it is very humid, it is just beautiful, especially in the mornings to walk around the ground. This bit of equipment that I'm going to cover is our water filters. It's always important when you're in the backcountry to make sure you have access to clean drinking water. There's only so much water that you can carry on your backs, as well as They're feeding the fish now. He's feeding the fish, so it might be a little loud. Sorry about that. That's good.
Duck's like, hey, breakfast.
Of course, filtering is important, especially when you're in the backcountry. We have our Katadyn 3-liter gravity filter, and we have taken on so many backpacking trips. We've definitely tested it before. It's one of our favorite things to bring because you get really fresh drinking water, especially when it's from the glacier-fed areas. One of the 10 essentials is bringing water, of course, but it's always good to have a backup. We also have the Sawyer mini water filter. It fits on any water bottle so it essentially becomes an adapter and it becomes a filter, and you can drink directly from the filter. So it is very convenient, especially when you're on the go and you don't want to set up a water filter like the Katadyn. So we also brought our water bottles. I have a clean canteen water bottle that keeps things hot and keep things cold. Tim did, but then unfortunately he lost it in Taiwan on Elephant Mountain, so we had to get him a new Stanley water bottle. It's not as nice, but it works. It's always good to have your water bottle so you can fill up in the airport, at the water drinking stations. Both of our water bottles are double walled, so they keeps our water both hot and cold, and we can also, you know, brew tea and coffee in them as well.
So we've just arrived to the spa and fitness area. It's been really great having a gym or access to a gym every morning. We've been trying to go early before the kind of crowd hits the gym. There's also a pool on this side that's next to the fitness center, so you can swim laps if you want to.
So next up on our gear list is the Mosquito net, which I wish I had, but I need like a full body one. I literally just got eaten alive out in the jungle. We carry the Mosquito nets, especially in the high alpine, to cover our faces. It's not the most ideal, you know, mosquito coils definitely work really well in other things, but when you're in the backcountry, you have to keep it light. So the Mosquito head net is very, very helpful. Also, we have our Sea to Summit dry sacks. We love these things because they are waterproof. We carry our phone in them, our headlamps, snacks, and other things to keep them dry, especially when we're on a boat, much like, you know, we're in Bali right now, so I'm sure we'll be taking them on our snorkeling boat tomorrow to go see the manta rays. Also, the dry sacks are very lightweight. You can buy sizes ranging from 10, 20, 30 liters, but of course we keep ours small because they have to fit in our backpacks. Another thing that we carry is very important and not a very sexy subject, the Sea to Summit Trowel. It's essentially a shovel that we carry with toilet paper in a plastic bag, and you dig a cat hole, leave no trace, pack everything that you bring in, including toilet paper, but the trowel is very handy for going poop in the backcountry. So yeah, we definitely carry one no matter where we are in the world. Morning.
We're gonna go claim some chairs on the beach, so we got some seats. Good morning. So we are at the beach in front of our hotel. We just reserved a couple chairs for later today.
And just to let you all know, we're in Samir, Bali. We're on the eastern side of the island, and once in a while we can relax and not climb mountains, which is nice. And in between, we're definitely going to be showing you some beautiful sights, much like Bali. But of course, we are heading to Mount Rinjani this week to climb. And stick around a little later, we are going to give you our room tour, as well as tell you about how we are paying nothing to stay here for 4 nights at a 5-star hotel. Nothing. Minus if we ordered room service or at the restaurants. That's a different story.
When you're in the mountains, you never know what the weather is going to do. You always want to be prepared. So 2 critical pieces that we place into our day packs is the Arcteryx Atom jacket. That's kind of our all-around day jacket. We can wear that when it's warm outside, but also if we layer correctly, we can wear it when it does get cold. So the Arcteryx Atom, that's an amazing choice. Other jacket, our cold weather down jacket, is the Arcteryx Cerium jacket. So that's our really puffy jacket that keeps us warm in cold climates. Also, you've got to be prepared for rain and wind. So we usually just bring a rain jacket that's also acts as a windbreak for us. And so you never know, you don't want to be cold and wet at the same time. Always have a rain jacket with you. So Helen carries a Solomon rain jacket and I have a Mountain Hardwear. As long as you have typically like a short sleeve shirt, a long sleeve base layer, And then we can next would put on the Arcteryx Atom jacket, and then we can also put the rain jacket on the outside. So you've got all the layers that you need for any kind of condition.
You can also rent bikes. They have exercise classes in the morning. They are at additional cost. There's plenty of things to do around here.
This is the pizzeria, one of the restaurants that's on the hotel grounds. We are right next to the bar, or right next to the beach, so there's a beautiful view from it. Just a nice place to lounge and have some good pizza. So the pizzeria is one of, I believe, 3 restaurants on the property.
Yeah, something like that.
2, yeah.
Well, there's a pizzeria, one with like traditional Indonesian food.
Right. And then the club, I guess.
The club counts, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, so that'd probably be 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
Since we booked a suite, we have access to the Hyatt Club, which includes free breakfast, as well as tea time, and then also a happy hour. So let's go.
In case you didn't know, our day packs are the Gregory Citro 30, which is the men's version, and the women's Juno 30, both 30 liters in volume. It took us a long time to really find out which type of pack would work best for us, because we needed enough room that we could fit all our gear, all our filming gear in, laptops, like all that stuff while we were traveling, so on our travel days, but yet still fit underneath the seat in a plane. And they have to be good enough for our hiking days and our climbing days. So we had to have, you know, hooks for trekking poles or ice axes or climbing gear, our water bladders. We had a long list of requirements, and these bags definitely meet them for us. They're very good, very well made. We love the Gregory brand.
There's an inside pocket and then a main compartment. There aren't multiple pockets inside, but there is, like Tim mentioned, a water bladder pocket. We do like this because there is a frame. I know this kind of gets in the way sometimes when maybe you're putting it under your seat, but we make it work. We typically take some of the stuff out and put it next to it if it's too bulky. But the frame does help with support when you're in the backcountry, because we've had frameless bags before when we went to Alaska. When our stuff was unfortunately stolen from our Airbnb, we had to get new bags and got frameless ones, and we really disliked it. It hurt our shoulders, it hurt our backs.
And they also have hip pouches, which are very useful. We put snacks in them, put sunscreen, anything that you need really quick access to while you're hiking. Obviously on the front we put these little tiny carabiners just in case you need to clip something random to it. And also the
Peak design clip
to hang the DSLR camera on.
On this bag there's 2 water bottle pockets on the side. They're good for putting trekking poles if we end up renting them wherever we are. It's a perfect bag for us so far. So we highlighted it briefly in our first packing video, but we also carry the Goal Zero Flip power bank, and we both carry one because we can charge our phones, and each of them have multiple charges, as well as charging things like our watch. So when you're in the backcountry or you're on a plane or a bus and you need access to power and don't have it.
The next thing is our Petzl Actik core headlamps. So each headlamp has 3 different brightness modes and a red light mode, which is great to use at night so that you're not blinding other people. You never know even if you're just planning a day hike, whether you get stuck out on the trail at night or something else happens, so that you always have that headlamp available.
Or you're exploring a cave or something spontaneous like that. Something that is very functional that I love to use is the Kula cloth. I can't stress this enough. I think I just got something in my eye. Why do I keep getting stuff in my eye? Something just fell in my eye. Anyways, I can't stress it enough, but carrying toilet paper as well as having access to toilet paper when you're traveling internationally. For example, in Taiwan, there are plenty of bathrooms without toilet paper, so I was glad to have my Kula cloth, especially on the trails. In the outhouses, a lot of places don't have toilet paper, so it's good to carry something like that where it is washable, it's antimicrobial, and you can reuse it over and over again, as well as it's good for the planet. So I highly recommend it. You can pick it up at an REI, and I'll drop the links below in the description for all of our gear.
So another thing that you absolutely should have in your pack is a Rainfly. We have Gregory packs, so we specifically purchased Gregory Rainflies, the 30 liters, because you want to get the Rainfly that matches the size of your pack. You don't necessarily have to get the same brand, but at least the same size pack. It's just like a rain jacket. You never know when you need it, and since we do carry electronics around to film, that kind of thing, we want to keep our stuff dry.
You just never know when you'll need it, so if you're in a place where maybe you want to keep your stuff a little bit more covered up, it's not necessarily raining, just for like security purposes, it's good to have. And standard, a hiking pack usually doesn't come with it, so you do have to unfortunately buy it separately. And there are a lot of cheap options on Amazon and other places like that, so if you don't want to go with a name brand, which we did because we knew it would fit our packs really well, then that's also an option too. So Tim and I always travel with carabiners on our bags. They're very handy for, you know, clipping random things.
Yep.
From my Kula cloth, which I keep my Kula cloth on one of the carabiners. Hats. We dangle hats off of our bags once in a while, especially when we get hot on the trail, when we dangle, of course.
All sorts of things.
And they are like climbing rated carabiners, or some of them too, so you just never know, you might need them in kind of a safety rescue situation. One thing I forgot to mention is the Hydrapak. We have a 3-liter water bladder with us in our day packs. We actually don't have any water when we're traveling, but when we're hiking, we fill it up with filtered water, and it's very handy, especially when you're kind of on the go. So each of us also have a, I guess what are they called? A tube lid as part of our Hydrapak. So yeah, very handy.
Welcome to our massive bathroom, ensuite bathroom. The last couple items I really wanted to talk about that we put in our day packs is number 1, a first aid kit. It's a very small first aid kit because I had to make sure that we didn't include too many medications and things that you might get in trouble with kind of going in and out of different countries. So we kept it small, some Band-Aids, moleskin for blisters and that type of stuff. And then the other one is our Black Diamond leather gloves. We've already used these gloves several times in Taiwan with all the ropes and chains that we had to grab climbing the mountains, and we can use them if we're rappelling or if we're doing via ferrata in Europe, which we hope to do. So
You all, this room at the Bali Hyatt Regency is amazing. You have to come in and check it out. When you first walk in, you'll see a bathroom. One of 2 full bathrooms in this hotel room. Check it out. Sink, a toilet, and another walk-in shower. I'm gonna call this Tim's throne. Is that okay, honey?
I'll accept it. I'll accept it.
I'll have the other bathroom. You have a nice foyer, or I guess you'd call this a sitting area. You have a dining table. We have a dining table, so we can definitely work in this space. And there's also, the next thing is a mini bar. There's filtered water, you can boil water and make coffee. There is tea, all complimentary. Oop, that was really loud. Snacks at a cost, unfortunately. Not everything's included. You also have a mini fridge with drinks. Unfortunately not complimentary, but maybe we'll use it at some point. They do charge it to your room. I can't wait. So we'll show you the balconies later. That's like the grand finale, but you have a beautiful living area. Have a walk-in. They did greet us with a cute little card. Thank you, Dr. Timothy Shuckers. Unfortunately, fake fruit, but they did bring some welcome snacks and, you know, a TV and a nice lounger. I feel like you could use this as a bed. I feel like, oh, I just lost my shoe. There is a separate closet to put all of your stuff in. You legitimately have a walk-in closet in this suite. So go ahead and check that out. I can walk in there. Look, and I can pretty much spread my arms out. That's how big this closet is. You know, this is where we're keeping our bags here for the trip. There's a door separating the living room from the master bedroom. Beautiful room, very aesthetically pleasing. I love all the Balinese touches with the kind of bamboo and wood elements and aesthetics. This is probably one of the most magical bathrooms I've ever seen. The bathroom, dual sinks, just like home. We miss our dual sinks. We've been on top of each other for the last 2 months in Taiwan, so this is really nice. Fresh flowers, which is a nice little touch. More filtered water. And you have a soaking tub. We are staying here for 4 nights, so that is going to be used. You got a robe. There's 2 of them that come in the room. And a water closet, a nice rainfall shower. The very big rainfall shower. So, ready to see the balconies. The 1 of 3 balconies in this room. I can't believe we have 3. With the corner suite, you definitely have more space, so let's go check it out. I had to do that. I've not broken in the bed yet, so. Tim's like, great, thank you. So let's check this out. All of the balconies have beautiful beachfront views, at least from here. Really, we have this one. It is quite humid out here, so I don't know how long it can last. I feel like my face is melting right now, but you know, we'll get used to it. We just got to Bali like a couple hours ago. I have to go back through the living room to get to the 3rd and massive patio off the side of the living room.
Pretty sure I locked it.
No, you locked it. Now, one of the best spaces I've ever seen in a hotel room, at least when I've stayed, and I'm sure some of you have stayed in nicer, but that's not the point. This patio is massive. It's like another hotel room out here, but I'm not gonna sleep out here because it's way too hot. Come on. One seating area and a second seating area. I feel like you can have a party out here. We're a really boring married couple and we don't really do much at night. So you'll bet you we'll just be hanging out in there, drinking a cocktail and hanging out in the tub. This is amazing. I can't believe it. So right now, Tim is gonna tell you how we booked this room.
We were able to book this amazing suite by transferring just 35,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards to Hyatt, and we had to pay no money. There was no fees, no resort fees, nothing. It was just 35,000 points. So in order to transfer Chase Ultimate Rewards, you go into your Chase account online, you log in into the Ultimate Rewards tab, and go to the Transfer Points portal. And then you transfer those 35,000 points or however many points that you need, which the Hyatt website will tell you. You just type in that number on the Chase website, click transfer, it transfers immediately to Hyatt. Then you go onto the Hyatt website, you log into your account number and book the hotel room. We've been stacking points with the Chase Sapphire Preferred credit card, the Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card, the Chase Freedom Unlimited card, and the Chase Freedom, which is the original card. You can't sign up for it anymore, but you can sign up for the Chase Freedom Flex card. And all of those cards have different categories that give you bonus points for spend, and that's how you kind of choose the best card for whatever type of spend you're about to use, whatever category, whether that be groceries or gas or whatever. Choose the correct credit card to get the most points. You stack all those points up, and then you can get rooms like these for free.
There are over 4 million people that call Bali home, and also the island is known as the Island of 1,000 Temples because there are currently over 20,000 plus temples on the entire island. We also learned from our taxi driver that people who live in Bali are about 85% Hindu, and a majority of them follow a special version of Hinduism different from what's practiced in India. He told us that overall population across Indonesia is 90% Muslim. Indonesian food is absolutely delicious. One of our favorites was mie goreng, which is a stir-fried noodle dish. You can often buy local Indonesian food and healthy dishes at an affordable cost. Oftentimes you can buy a drink and an entree for less than $7 USD in many places.
So I got the Balinese curry with seafood. There is shrimp, squid, what else? Vegetables, and I'm forgetting what's in there. Oh, and fish. So shrimp, squid, vegetables, fish. It's actually not very coconutty. It's more of like a broth. So apparently Balinese curry is not as rich as other curries in other has some type of like local spice that I can't really quite pinpoint. I think they're like almost taste like lemongrass in a way. So yeah, it's pretty tasty.
So it's not so much that it's not coconutty, but it's not so creamy or like heavy cream.
That's true. So it's coconutty and not heavy cream like a lot of the other curries in like India and a lot of Thai foods that we've had before.
During our stay in Sanur, we decided to book a half-day snorkeling trip from Sanur Beach Harbor to Nusa Penida. We booked on Klook.com, and that's a popular website and app to book tours and experiences in Southeast Asia. We highly recommend it. We stopped at 3 different snorkeling sites during our half-day trip at Manta Point, Toya Pake Wall, and the Mangrove area.
Seaweed drying out.
Nusa Penida is one of 3 small islands that lies to the immediate southeast of Bali, and they're technically part of Bali, and they're definitely beautiful islands to explore for the day, or you can stay even for a couple of nights. He said there are 4 rays today in the water and we get to get in, so I'm excited.
Let's go! Let's go! Unfortunately, there's a lot of trash floating in the area, so it's a little disconcerting that way, but man, the manta rays are beautiful. They got these large mouths. It's really cool. I better go back down and look for some more.
The Nusa Penida snorkeling trip was one of our highlights in the Sanur Beach area on the eastern side of Bali, and after catching quite a few beautiful sunrises at the Hyatt Regency in Bali, we had to wrap up our time. We were heading to the western part of the island, known as the Uluwatu area, to get in some surf, and then from there we're heading to Lombok to climb Mount Rinjani, the second tallest peak in all of Indonesia.